Dale Earnhardt Jr. just shocked NASCAR and proposed huge changes. He wouldn't mind if NASCAR made major changes to its races in the near future. Earlier this month, Earnhardt discussed modifying NASCAR's caution rule for Dale Jr. Download. Get rid of stage cautions entirely, Earnhardt Jr. said when talking about what Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch discussed on the Actions Detrimental podcast. No stage break caution. That goes away. You still pay points out at certain moments in the race, as we do today. I'm fine with that. I like people accumulating points during the race. It does create a conversation that I think we need to have around somebody who finished 14th getting 5th place points or the 5th best points. Or the guy even winning the race not having the most points as the guy in 2nd or 3rd because of what happened throughout the race. I don't know if I love all that, but hey, that's another conversation. Dale Earnhardt addressed the only difficulty with the prospective NASCAR rule change. Earnhardt then said, "There's a lap clock, a lap counter. You run a certain amount of laps green, and if no caution has come out, you throw the yellow. If there's a natural yellow at some point in that mix, it resets the clock." I like that. That way, I think it changes fuel strategy. All types of things to be able to get the teams to have to race a little bit. Later in the talk, Earnhardt hinted that the transition might be difficult due to television. The networks want yellows so they can go to break, he said. I'm sure the plan stuff makes it easier. That's a part of it. The networks have a lot of leverage in terms of when we're going to start races and how races is going to look and all that stuff. As reported by USA Today, NASCAR has been using stage cautions in the Cup Series since 2017. NASCAR eliminated stage cautions from road courses in 2023, but reinstated them last year. NASCAR will use 3 stage cautions for the Coca-Cola 600, the next Cup Series event. The race will be 4 stages long. Caution flags will be thrown every 100 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. While Dale Earnhardt Jr. advocates for structural improvements to how races are controlled, others, including as Joey Logano, are dissatisfied with how races are currently run, particularly with the contentious promoter's caution during the All-Star race. Joey Logano was not happy with Christopher Bell after the latter won the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star race at North Wilkesboro Speedway over the weekend. Kevin Harvick watched as the 3-time champion expressed his displeasure as the checkered flag flew. Logano accused Bell of driving him into the wall to capture the lead in the race's final laps. He went on to say that if Bell had returned to his bumper, he would have spun him out. On Monday, Logano took back his words, saying it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but Harvick was still stunned by the Team Penske driver's first reaction. You see, Christopher Bell make the move and Logano block him. To me, when you block, it's game on at that point, Harvick claimed via Kevin Harvick's happy hour. He slid up the heel there. Joey not happy afterwards. I think if the roles were reversed right there, Joey does the exact same thing to try to win $1 million. It's easy to understand Logano's frustration. He was the dominant car for the majority of the night. He led 139 of 250 laps, the most in the race. However, the much-anticipated promoter's caution changed everything. Marcus Smith, CEO of Speedway Motorsports, instructed Michael Waltrip to throw the yellow flag on lap 216. That brought the field down pit road for the final time. That is the majority of the field. Logano and his Team Penske colleague Ryan Blaney were among the drivers that remained out. Logano blocked Bell for as long as he could on aging tires. Bell passed him with 9 laps to go. Yeah, I'm all about no gimmicks with the caution, Logano said of the promoter's caution, following the race. I am all about that. Me and Marcus Smith aren't seeing eye to eye right now, okay? I've got to have a word with him. Perhaps Logano was enraged by the combination of $1 million slipping through his fingers and missing out on another All-Star race victory. At the very least, he attempted to backtrack on his comments on Bell, which were illogical from the start. At the very least, NASCAR can witness its finest and brightest competing tooth and claw for the win in the All-Star race. That always results in a stronger product, which Kevin Harvick and the Fox crew will appreciate when the Cup Series resumes broadcasting in 2026. From caution flag controversies to doubts about a star's chances on motorsport's largest stage, the conversation switches to Kyle Larson, whose Indy 500 hopes are being evaluated by none other than Kevin Harvick. When Kyle Larson takes the field, you expect him to be a contender. Perhaps he will compete in this Sunday's 109th Indianapolis 500, where he will start from the 19th position. Kevin Harvick is skeptical though. On Tuesday's Happy Hour podcast, Harvick stated that he does not believe Larson has a shot to win at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and that the goal should be to complete the entire 1,000 miles between the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I think the goal is to run the 1,100 miles. I don't think he has a chance to win at Indy, Harvick said. With the way they qualified and all the things that have happened this year, I think that hope is out of the picture. Personally, I don't see it. I think he can come back and be a real contender at the Coke 600, and just being able to finish on the lead lap at Indy and run all 1,000 miles and check that box is probably the most realistic goal for this year. But still, an amazing feat. It doesn't look like he's having nearly as much fun this year as he did last year, with the couple crashes and everything that's happening. It will be interesting to see if he moves forward with it after this year, after it not being as much fun. Expectations are high. Going from what he did last year to this year, the expectation is to go there and compete for a win. That was over early. Can Kyle Larson do the Indy-Charlotte double? Larson will be making his second effort at the Indianapolis-Charlotte double. Last year, the weather affected his day. Larson finished 18th in the rain-delayed Indy 500, and when he arrived in Charlotte, Mother Nature had already arrived. The 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion did not complete a single lap in the Coca-Cola 600. The build-up to this year's Indy 500 has been far from smooth. Larson has crashed twice in the past few months, most recently on Friday during practice. He qualified for the race, however he is not regarded as one of the favorites. Finishing the entire 1,000 miles would be a significant feat. Only one driver, Tony Stewart, has ever accomplished it. Stewart pulled it off in 2001. Finally, Kevin Harvick didn't simply speak on race strategy and expectations. He also emphasized personal responsibility in the sport. His most recent critique? Ryan Preece made a costly blunder during the All-Star Open. Ryan Preece was unable to compete in the NASCAR All-Star race after making a costly error in the All-Star Open. He received a choose cone infraction while running P2, which ended his chances of making it to the main race over the weekend. Preece was not pleased with the response. He had some fun with the issue after the race, snatching a real traffic cone and delivering it to the inside wall of the North Wilkesboro circuit. Fans cheered him on, but Kevin Harvick chose to be blunt about the situation on the most recent episode of Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour. When you look at some of the things that happened this weekend, we had a few guys that were fired up at each other. Preece was fired up after the All-Star Open, Harvick stated. He went and found a cone and set it up on the wall, for that restart box that he missed and made the 2 times before. The drivers and their emotion? That's what we want to see. We want to see that emotion. I felt like, in the Open, Preece was going to win the race. I felt like he had the best car in the Open race. He was mad and trying to blame it on somebody else, but in the end, that's your responsibility, to put that car where it needs to be. Knowing that, you also know that you had the best car in the race. You know that you want to be in the big show, and it's not going to happen because of that mistake. Look at Brad Keselowski, losing the lead there on the restart. That was his only chance. All these guys know you're there to win. You're there to be in the show. You're there to win, and there's $1 million on the line. I love to see the emotion. While Harvick knows why Preece wanted to compete in the All-Star race so badly, he believes the number 64 driver is solely responsible for his conduct. Despite Preece's allegation that he couldn't see the choose cone because of the rubber that had been placed down on the track previously, the former Cup Series champion refuses to budge. Regardless of his performance at the All-Star Open, Ryan Preece is opening some eyes throughout the 2025 season. He's still looking for his first win, but it will happen if the RFK Racing driver continues to race at the front, as he has throughout his debut season with the 3-car Ford squad. So, what are your thoughts on Harvick's and Dale's comments? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.